Hey there. Right now I decided to just basically step it up a notch a bit and take my movie night idea and go for a whole movie weekend. So basically what I did was I decided to find 10 movies that could encompass an entire weekend that people could have fun with and run the gamut of different styles of film. So here I go with 10 movies that make for a good movie weekend, and I'll explain why for each one. And my first choice was a little film called The Living Dead, The Manchester Morgue. Now, this is an extremely fun film. If you're a zombie fan, really owe it to yourself. Check it out. It's a cool Italian film, and is it Italian or Spanish? Actually, maybe Spanish. Yeah, Spanish film. And it's if you don't recognize it right away, you may know it under with other titles. Probably caught as well when you saw it. Call it Sleeping Corpses Lie or Don't Open the Window. But this is the uncut Blue Underground release, 2-disc edition. Really cool features on it. And Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue was definitely a top choice for me to for a weekend fun. And after watching something that's kind of cool like that, you want something that's going to look kind of like, I don't know, clean the palate of anything good, if you know what I mean. And I chose Dario Argento's director's cut of Phantom of the Opera. This is probably one of the worst, but not the worst, director 3D is the worst film that Argento ever put out. He tries, and it's still a fun movie. I mean, there's parts of this movie that are interesting, but I wouldn't, it's Julian Sands as Zia Argento, so it's definitely worth watching, and it's a beautiful film. And after watching Living Dead on Manchester Morgue, I thought Phantom of the Opera was a nice come down from that. Probably should have put something in between those two, but I choose those two now. As for a more comedy one, I wanted to get something in there kind of like the teen sex comedy type of thingy. And I had a couple choices there in mind, but at the end of the day, I thought this was the best one if you're for a weekend thing, is Meatballs. Of course, Bill Murray is in this, Kate Lynch. Introduces Chris Makepeace. Ivor Reitman directed this film. It's not your typical, basically, teen sex comedy. I can't even remember if there's any nudity in this one. It's just a fun film. One of those camp films. It's pretty wacky. This edition here, you can see that's has some pretty decent features on it. And a great commentary. The only there's a few Meatball sequels, but the only other one that actually is an official sequel, but that has anything to do with the first movie, because basically the character of Rudy, played by Chris Makepeace, has grown up, and I think played by Patrick Dempsey in the third film, and that's basically Meatballs 3 Summer Job or something like that, and Sally Kellerman plays a porn star that dies, but she can't get her wings until she helps Rudy get laid. Shannon Tweed's in the movie. I don't have that one, but that would be my next choice after this one for a cheesy movie weekend. Because I want to get some action in here, I decided to go with something kind of cool and something kind of John Woo's The Killer. It's a 1989 film. Rocks, a little bit of a dummy of an ending in a way, but it's John Woo, so you know it's got to be. Action is incredible in this film. It will keep you watching. It's one of those films right to the last second, and it's a ballet of violence and guns. John Woo makes violence look more beautiful than anybody I know. So next up, I wanted to get an exploitation film. You just had your violence and your action and your adrenaline's pumping. So what's goes next is I chose Angel Eyes. Eric Estrada, basically John Philip Law, and of course Monique Gabrielle. For us sexploitation fans here, you're gonna know Monique Gabrielle because she was in Emmanuel 5. Basically, she's one of the men who gets changed over to. This is part of the Night Owl Theater series that Retro Media put out, and basically it's a cheesy, probably late 80s or mid 90s, one of those Skin-O-Rama type, girl gets naked, but there's something more to it, and there's action, and anyway, it's just fun, and I thought, if you're doing like a movie weekend type thing, then you gotta have something like that. My next two choices, and they go together this one, I think, were these, because I thought these were extremely fun, and some people bitched about it, but I really like them. They kind of go together as one movie, but they're two separate movies. They were filmed as one, and it's Three Musketeers and the Four Musketeers. These were films that were done by Richard Lester, who did Superman 2. And this is the Anchor Bay edition, by the way. That is the 2-disc edition with the crap load features on it. And here we go. Picked this up for a song, actually. But we've got Oliver Reed, Raquel Welch, Richard Chamberlain, Frank Finley, Christopher Lee, Geraldine Chaplin. Pretty much rocking both these films there. Michael York, of course, plays D'Artagnan. They're just very fun swashbuckler type movies. And with your friends, and you just want something fun to put on, you want to relax, enjoy yourself. I did. I enjoyed these movies, and I watched them with my cousin. Now back to my favorite genre, horror. And the next three are horror because you watch a lot of horror. Well, I do anyway. When if I'm doing a movie weekend, I'm watching a lot of horror, and pretty much hardcore straight through. I wouldn't watch a lot of the sexploitation stuff now so much, but I'm trying to put myself in the way I was as a teen, and kind of the type of stuff I'd range from. And this next one is a favorite of mine, City of the Living Dead. I'm a big Fulci fan, and City of the Living Dead is one of the best. I have the whole Gates of Hell trilogy in the Arrow set. I also have City of the Living Dead, and I have House Pet Cemetery in like 3 or 4 different versions. And the only one I think I don't have in is the second one. Well, I got it in the trilogy, but I don't have it in like extra versions like I do, like these versions like doing right here. Did I say versions? Anyway, this is the Blue Underground one. Pretty cool release. Arrow put out a really awesome release, but I just really like this cover. I found this thing, I bought it for like $4, and even though I'd already had the movie, I just knew I needed this. I'm a big Blue Underground fan, so I knew that was going to be in there. City of the Living Dead, it's a zombie movie. It's basically when in Down the Dead, when they say, when there's no more room in hell, dead will walk the earth. Well, this is the real deal right here. This is brutal. You're going to get the eyeball violence in the hair. You're going to get the gorgeous girls. And these are the type that you sit back with your friends and you watch. Hopefully you get a kick out of them. Pieces is another one like that you just a fun-a-tan film that you watch. I wanted to pick like a slasher movie because when I was young, I grew up in the 80s, and slashers were like a big thing. And this was one that I really enjoyed. And this is an 80s film, I think. This is a 1990 release. Pretty sure this was an 80s film though. Anyway, it's a film that I enjoyed. Tourist Trap with Chuck Connors. And early role for Tanya Roberts. Of course, I also have Jocelyn Jones in this one, and this was a kind of a psycho-esque Day of the Woman. It's very cool, very House of Wax-ish. You've got a killer that may or may not have psychic powers, and I really enjoyed it. There's a great commentary on this with director David Schmuller, and it's an early Tanya Roberts role. There's a very tiny bit of nudity, but as like slasher movies go, it's pretty cool. I gotta say, I was never ever bored for 1 second in that film, and neither would I be in the 10th film in this set, and this would be a Tobe Hooper film, one that I rank extremely high. That is Eaten Alive. Eaten Alive has an incredible cast. We got Neville Brand, Mel Ferrer, Carolyn Jones, Marilyn Burns, who just come out for doing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre for him. William Finley, who was be in the awesome Phantom of Paradise. Stuart Whitman, Roberta Collins, Robert Englund. I mean, the whole freaking cast is amazing. This film does not get the credit it deserves. It is a cool movie. It is a whacked out psycho in this. He's feeding people to his gator basically, and that only works so long before somebody finds out. Again, this is the one with the 2-disc Dark Sky edition. Dark Sky puts out some awesome sets. If you can get your hands on this one, pick it up. It's really a good edition. And I could watch this one any day of the night. And I've watched this one several times. I probably watched it more than I watched Texas Chainsaw back in the day when I had it. I know that sounds like sacrilege, but it's true. And yes, I don't have Texas Chainsaw right now. I did have the Blu-ray Ultimate Edition of that with the big documentary, but I don't anymore, so I'm going to probably pick up the Steelbook down the road, the 2-disc one, and that tends to be the one that people try to steer me towards, because I have almost every Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie except the original one. I've got Part 2, I've got Part 3, which is actually a favorite sequel of mine. Jeff Bird did a wonderful job directing that film. Anyway, these are 10 films that I chose for a movie weekend. Unique movie weekend. I wanted to put some different stuff in there. I wanted to put in some movies that I maybe have not shown you so much in my videos. But hope you enjoyed them. Hope you find something there that you like. And I'm going to talk to you soon, because I'm going to try and get another video on there before I go to bed tonight. And right now it's time for tea, because I need it to stay awake.